Okay, we're live. We have a really exciting webinar for you guys tonight, and there's going to be a huge, huge announcement at the end. Okay, something that we've been working at here at Alma Green for a long time. So Cyrus is going to get in here in a moment. We already have 110 people in the room. This is great. In the chat box, let us know where you're coming from, and if you're living with let us know. Do you have high cholesterol? Do you have high blood pressure? Are you living with some form of diabetes? Type it in the chat box. Let us know in the chat box what you're living with, and we're going to try and address a lot of that tonight. We're going to have a big Q&A section tonight, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to have Cyrus popping in here shortly, but we're just excited, just really excited here. We have Janice. We have Deb, type 1, Kathy from Michigan, Mike from Florida. All right, very good, very good. Type 2 diabetes, the rest is good. Okay, type 2 diabetes with meds. You got Crystal with type 1.5 diabetes. All right. Hello, David from SoCal. I'm in SoCal as well. I hope I run into you at a farmer's market here or there. That would be fun. We got Marta from Ontario, Canada. All right, all right. Oh, we have Julie from Australia. Australia, wow. Thanks for joining us. Great to have you here. David, type 2 insulin dependent, all right. We have Cecile from Burbank. Burbank, all right, right around the corner. Melanie from Minnesota. I grew up in St. Cloud, Minnesota. It's a great state. You know, also, I have too many jackets on. I shouldn't have this many jackets on for being in Southern California. Let me turn this device off so we don't have as much noise. All right, we have Mike from Maryland, type 2 using metformin. Okay, all right. Let's see, Julie from Madison, Indiana. We have Gloria in the house. John, I'm glad you have started. You're here with us. The broadcast has not started yet. We're going to get started real soon here. We have 150 people with us. This is great. And we have a lot of important information to cover for making 2020 your best year yet. So that's what's going to happen. All right. Now we have George also. We have Janice in the house. Hope to hear something about stress and hormones like cortisol and its influence on numbers. Okay, Janice, that's noted. Well, if we don't get to it in the presentation, we can get to that in the Q&A for sure. Proud to have you with us. Hold on one second, guys.
When I get to the screen, there's nothing. It's literally just a blank screen, and I can't click on anything. Can I use your link?
Try it. See what happens. Hold on. Let me. We're gonna get Cyrus in here in a moment. We have some tech challenges, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna give Cyrus this link and see what happens if we try that. Here we go. This is my link. Click that in there. I'm coming to you from Santa Monica, if I didn't say that already. What else do we got here? We have Laura from Virginia. We have Mary in the house. I like it. Let's see what happens. It says Robbie has joined the room. We have VJ from Northern California. Great to have you with us.
Can you hear me on Channel?
No, I don't see you. I only see me. Okay, we have Lost from Canada, guys. Before we get started, we're gonna talk about some fruits. Okay, how many of you in the audience? I want you to write in the chat box. Have you ever had a Fuyu persimmon? Okay, write yes. Write yes in the chat box if you've had a Fuyu persimmon before. Okay, and there's many varieties of persimmons, and I'm going to educate you on several of them. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Say if it's not true, you could just say no. Lorraine says no. But I'm seeing a lot of yeses right now. Okay, good. Persimmons are a fall fruit, a winter fruit, and they're quite tasty. They're quite sweet. And this Fuyu variety, you can eat this variety like an apple. You can eat it crunchy. You can also let it get a little bit of give. Okay, this one doesn't have that much give, but it's not hard as a rock either. Okay. Now, how many of you in the chat box say yes if you've had a Haichia persimmon before? All right. See, watch what happens when I press this. See, that's like a balloon there. Okay, that's a Haichia, and these ones you have to eat when they're soft. Okay, these ones must be soft to consume. If you try and eat it while it's firm or even just like barely soft, it's gonna taste very chalky, and your mouth is gonna have this terrible feeling. So it's no good. But the Haichia and the Fuyu, or Hachia, however you want to say it, they are both widely available right now. So if you go to your Asian markets, you will then be able to usually find persimmons there. But even regular grocery stores, something like Ralph's or Whole Foods or Gelson's or anything, they usually have persimmons. They're just kind of in a smaller basket. Obviously the selection is not going to be as big as apples, but it's a great fruit. So let's see. How about this? How many people here say yes in the chat box? I expect there to be a lot less this time. If you've had a cherimoya, how many people have eaten a cherimoya in their life? Okay. This particular variety, this is called the white variety. And then I also have the bay. So I'm seeing some more no's here. Yeah. Oh, Jose had one today. I like that, Jose. I like that. This fruit is a little bit harder to find. It tastes very, very sweet. It has a creamy texture. Some people say it's a combination between a mango, a pineapple, and a banana. So you put those together, and you get a beautiful, beautiful cherimoya. All right. So here's another fruit. This one's called white sapote. All right. We're doing fruit education while we get Cyrus in the room here. So white sapote is also a pretty challenging fruit to find. This one, I can't necessarily say you can just go to an Asian market and find it. You're going to have to try and order it online or something. I think you could probably get some from Miami Fruit, and that's a really great website that we love. If you enter a discount code Mastering Diabetes into the checkout box. Hold on one second. Hold on. Yeah.
It's still the same thing's happening. I created a new presenter, logged in, can't get in. I'm just like sometimes I don't know what to do.
So what if I try and share the presentation and you talk through WhatsApp?
Yeah, let's do that. Great.
So send me the presentation.
All right, perfect.
Okay. So anyways, white sapote, very good fruit. I want to show you guys one more just for fun. We're having this. This is a jackfruit right here. Okay. So jackfruit is a tropical fruit that Juicy Fruit Gum mimicked their flavor after jackfruit. All right. So they just said, you know what? That's so delicious. We're going to try and make a gum out of it. That's what they did. So when I'm growing up, Juicy Fruit Gum was my favorite gum, like hands down. So it makes sense that I eat so much fruit now. But it's the largest tree-bearing fruit on the planet. So it's quite heavy. That's, as you can see, it's quite a large fruit right there. And on the inside, you get these little pods, okay? And the pods are very sweet, again, very calorie dense. And then the seeds can be boiled. So jackfruit is a really great thing when it comes to just using resources, because you can get so much out of it, so much nutrition, and you get a lot per acre with how much is growing on the tree. So what we're going to try here is we had a little technical difficulty. We are going to have Cyrus, his audio is going to come through my screen here, and we're going to try and get this presentation going here. So we got 191 of you in the room. We have Jose in the chat box here. He's going to be answering questions. and we're going to get started shortly here. So 1 second, let me share my screen so you can see the presentation. Let's go right here. Let's click share. And then we're going to go to view, and we're going to say slideshow. Okay, so I can no longer, oh geez, that didn't work. Play from slideshow. So let's see here. Okay, Cyrus, start talking.
Okay, cool.
So here's what we're gonna do. We want to test and see what's going on right now. So, Jose, you're the only one who can see the chat box. So, Jose, write me on Slack here and tell me, can people hear Cyrus and can they see my presentation? Jose, let us know on Slack. Let me know. Can the people, our viewers, see the screen?
So let's.
Yes, everything is good. Cyrus, I got great news. Jose said everything is good, so keep talking.
All right, cool. Okay, guys, sorry about this technical glitch. We have no idea what's happening on our end, but something funky is happening. But here's the best part. You guys can see the screen. So we're on the screen that says what we'll cover today.
That's right. That's what we're looking at.
Okay, so I'm just going to call out when it's time to move to the next slide, and then we can do this as a team effort, and we'll have a good time.
Let's do it.
Okay, so here we go. This is what we're going to cover today. We're going to start out with 3 things that you may be neglecting on a daily basis that actually have a shocking impact on your overall health. We're also going to cover super simple and effective habits that most of our successful students or members, whatever you want to call them, have in common for lowering their blood glucose, their blood pressure, and their cholesterol levels. And we're also going to teach you the exact formula for a healthy weekly routine that delivers incredible results without actually being too expensive or just too difficult. Okay, next slide.
Okay, we're on the next slide.
All right, here we go. So I was diagnosed with not 1, not 2, but 3 autoimmune conditions in my senior year of college. And I know some of you in the room already know my own personal story, but then there's some new people today who probably don't know who I am. So I'll go through this like medium speed here. I was diagnosed with 3 autoimmune conditions when I was a senior at Stanford University in the year 2002. The first condition was Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. The second was alopecia universalis, which is why I have no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no nose hair, no armpit hair, nothing. And then the final autoimmune condition is type 1 diabetes. So all 3 of these things set in within the first 6 months. Within a 6-month period. And at that time in my life, I literally had no idea what was going on, and I got real nervous real quick. So on the next slide, you'll see photos of the types of foods that my doctors told me to eat. So at that time, doctors were telling people living with diabetes that they had to eat a low carbohydrate diet, meaning decrease your intake of fruits and vegetables and increase your intake of meat and fish and dairy and eggs and bacon and butter and olive oil and coconut oil. So I followed that advice because, I'm a 22-year-old guy and I enjoyed eating those foods anyway. And I figured, hey, if that's my prescription, then I think this whole diabetes thing is going to work out just fine. The truth is that doctors give the same recommendations today. Medical professionals are not bad people. They just are slightly misinformed. And most people living with diabetes eat this exact same way. Okay, so on the next slide, you'll see a picture of my blood glucose meter here. Because no matter how hard I tried to control my blood glucose eating the way that I just described, my blood glucose was all over the place. I mean, on a daily basis, I would be in the 40s and the 300s and then the 200s. And it just didn't seem to make any sense because no matter how hard I tried, my blood glucose just seemed like it was getting more and more out of control on a daily basis.
Okay, Cyrus, 1 second here. Unfortunately, for some reason, I'm moving to new slides, and I see the new slides on my screen, but everybody else is saying that they don't see the slides moving. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Turn my all right. Okay, turn my camera. We're going to try again, guys. We're going to give this another shot here, and we're going to well, we actually don't need this, so we're gonna send this. Start slideshow. All right.
We'll get this right.
I'm just gonna do my entire screen. Is that what you would do, Cyrus?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Entire screen on the right-hand tab.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now let's see if people can see the glucose slide. So Jose, let me know on Slack if everybody can see. No matter how hard I tried, my blood glucose was uncontrollable.
Yeah, let's see a bunch of yeses, and then we can continue.
Jose says yes, so let's continue,
cool.
Cyrus. Let's do it.
All right, nice work, nice recovery. Okay, so my glucose was all over the place, 40s, 300s, 200s, couldn't control it. But not only was my blood glucose a random number generator, I found that exercise was actually really hard to do. And I'm an active guy. I love exercise. And if you take me and give me low energy and prevent me from exercising, you're going to have somebody who's real pissed off. So that's what was happening to me over the course of the first year. Okay, next slide. After 1 year, I decided that I wanted to make a change. So I started to consult friends and family and books and movies and videos online to try and find out how I could actually change my eating habits. And I found out that there was this thing called a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. And this was, again, back in 2003 when there wasn't very much information about eating a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. So I worked with a gentleman known as Doug Graham. He went on to become an author. He wrote a book called the 80-10-10 book. He teaches people how to adopt a plant-based diet for incredible success. And he took me under his wing and said, listen, I'm going to teach you everything I know, and hopefully let's see if your blood glucose becomes more manageable. So on the next slide, you'll see that my carbohydrate intake went up dramatically. Started out in like the low 100s, maybe like 125 grams a day. And within the first 3 weeks, I was eating about 600 grams of carbohydrate per day, which is what your average person with diabetes would eat in a week or sometimes even in a month. On the next slide, you'll see that not only did my carbohydrate intake go up in blue, but my total fat intake went down in red. I wasn't necessarily trying to make that happen. It just kind of happened because that's what happens when you eat a diet that's really high in fruits and vegetables. So I was eating more carbohydrates for significantly less fat. And I predicted that my blood glucose would go pretty high because that's the story I'd been told. Everyone says, well, you eat more carbohydrate, that means your blood glucose is going to go up. But on the next slide, you'll see that my insulin use actually fell by 43% in the first 3 weeks. So what that means is I was eating 6 times as many carbohydrate grams per day, and I was using 40% less insulin on a daily basis. So next slide, you'll see here that I was so excited by this whole process that I decided to go back to school so I could learn more about the ins and outs of what was happening inside of my own body. So I studied for 5 years at UC Berkeley, and there I read thousands and thousands and thousands of scientific papers on diabetes to try and understand really what was going on. And over the course of a 5-year period, I earned a PhD in nutritional biochemistry so that I could really figure out what was happening not only in my body, but if I could, to also educate me about ways that I could help other people also experience a very similar thing. So on the next slide, you'll see me. That's a shameless plug of me with my shirt off. And that's what I look like in my native habitat when I live in Costa Rica, and it's sunny all day long, and I don't really wear a shirt. Over the course...
Okay. Hold on. We had a quick glitch there for a second. Okay. Cyrus, you're back.
All right.
Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Technical error here.
All right.
Okay, you're back. We're still looking at your abs.
Okay, cool. So sometimes I eat as much as 900 grams of carbohydrate energy per day. On average, I usually eat about 600 grams. I inject about 25 units of insulin, which is a very physiologically normal amount of insulin to inject. And I have non-diabetic A1C values. So in other words, I'm a happy camper, and I have science to thank for that. Okay, so on the next slide, you'll see that the AMLA Okay, the reason you guys are here is because we are going to be talking about this stuff called amla, which are Indian gooseberries that are found only in India, and the amazing power that they have on helping you control your cholesterol, your blood glucose, and your blood pressure, because it's truly a very powerful medicinal plant. And if you've been in any of our past webinars, you've probably heard me talk about the fact that amla has incredible impact on glucose metabolism. So on the next slide, you'll see that there have been some scientific investigations to try and understand exactly how powerful is this amla berry. What is it actually doing? So this study, a paper called The Effect of Amla Fruit on Blood Glucose and Lipid Profile of Normal Subjects and Type 2 Diabetic Patients. On the next slide, you'll see just how powerful this stuff is. So in red is a curve that shows you what happens to patients with type 2 diabetes when they are put onto a drug known as glimepiride. So glimepiride is a glucose-lowering drug, which over the course of 3 weeks in this study was able to take people with type 2 diabetes, lower their fasting blood glucose from a little bit over 125 all the way down into the happy zone of about 80 milligrams per deciliter. And it did that, you can see, on a sort of stepwise decrease over the course of 3 weeks. Now, there's 3 blue lines. The top blue line represents what happens to people when they had 1 gram of amla berries per day. And you'll see that over the course of 3 weeks, they also got into the happy zone a little bit slower, but they got there. The next curve underneath that shows what happens when patients take 2 grams of amla berries per day. They got there a little bit quicker, but they got into the happy zone as well. And then finally, what happens if you eat 3 grams of amla berries per day? Well, it turns out that 3 grams of amla berries is actually considered more powerful than the than the glucose-lowering drug glimepiride. Okay, 3 grams of amla berries, just in case we're not sort of clear what that means, that is the equivalent of 1/4 of 1 berry, which is about the equivalent of 1/4 of 1 grape. So imagine that. Imagine if I put 1/4 of a grape in your hand, and you took that every single day, and that helped you lower your blood glucose and your cholesterol and your blood pressure at the same time. Would you do it? I think the answer is probably yes. Okay, on the next slide, I've also talked previously about
Actually, Cyrus, I'm curious. I want to hear this.
Yeah.
In the chat box, guys, let us know. Would you do it? Is it yes? I mean, let's just think about the magnitude of what you're saying here. Jose, I want you to let me know on Slack here, just in general, what percentage of people are saying that they would do it? I want to hear. It's pretty amazing. It's really, I mean, I think I just want people to stop and really think about what we're saying here and what the research is showing.
That's a good point. I'm glad you stopped me, actually, because, I mean, we're talking about 1/4 of a berry, 1/4 of a grape, right? And you get tremendous improvement in your metabolic and many metabolic biomarkers with the beauty is here is that there's 0 side effects.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
And it's plant medicine. I mean, we all know about medicines. You know, we take a pill, it comes from the bottle. The pills are usually quite small, and they're quite impactful. And that's what we're talking about with this particular food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I got to report back that there's lots of yeses. So we're ready to proceed here.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear that everybody's with us. They're paying attention. We're on the
All right.
amazing impact of amla on cholesterol and metabolism, or cholesterol metabolism.
Okay, it's confirmed. We have a bunch of people in the audience
Yes.
who also think like us.
Yes, yes.
Okay, here we go. So, next slide.
Yep.
Research shows that amla berries not only lower glucose, but they also lower your LDL cholesterol. Okay, so here's how to read this graph. There's 4 boxes across the top in red, and there's 4 boxes across the bottom in red. Okay? On the very left-hand side, you have what the LDL cholesterol of people who started this study. So their LDL cholesterol was 122, 120, 119. So it's elevated LDL cholesterol. And over the course of 8 days, then 15 days, then 21 days, their LDL cholesterol took a significant drop. Some people went from having a blood cholesterol, an LDL cholesterol of 110 or 120, all the way downwards to 64, 72, 58. Okay? So this is basically like a 40% reduction in LDL cholesterol, granted on a small group of patients, but a 40% reduction in LDL cholesterol within 21 days. That is bonkers. If you look at the next slide, you'll see that AMLA also increases HDL cholesterol, and that's the good cholesterol. So again, over the course of that same 21-day period, patients went from having LDL cholesterols in the mid-40s upwards of LDL cholesterols in the 50s, 60s, and even 80s. Those are monstrous changes in a very short period of time. Next slide. AMLA research indicates that AMLA can actually lower triglyceride values. So again, same 21-day period, triglyceride values starting in the mid-200s or even high 200s got cut into the 130s, 140s, and as high as 270, okay? So it didn't fall in every single patient, but there definitely is a downward trend. And these triglyceride values got cut by almost 50%. Okay, so the reason I wanted to show you these research studies is because there's many others that show and that sort of suggest that AMLA berries can be very, very powerful and are truly a medicine that the pharmaceutical companies either haven't discovered or haven't been able to package and put into a pill. But let me tell you this, if they could, they would. Okay, on the next slide, it says, here's the golden question, which is, how do you create a sustainable lifestyle in the long term? Okay, how do you create a sustainable lifestyle in the long term that actually lowers your blood glucose, lowers your blood pressure, and lowers your triglyceride values at the same time, and does it not only today, not only tomorrow, not only next week, but does it a year from now, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now? Okay, so what we want to cover in this conversation here is to try and understand what are the things that you can do that will help you move in that direction. And in order to answer that question, we actually did a deep dive and actually studied a lot of the patients or a lot of the members that have come through our coaching program. So next slide. It says 5 things that have a shocking impact on your overall health. A shocking impact on your overall health, okay? So in the chat box, here's what I want to know from you guys. Based off of everything that you know, maybe things that you've heard me say or things that you've heard other health experts say, give me some ideas of things that you think are going to have a shocking impact on your overall health in the long term. What are they?
Okay, Jose, let's see what comes back in the chat box. You let us know. Put a few in our thread here so we can repeat them. But we want to hear what you guys are thinking in the chat box. So let us know.
That's right. I mean, it could be anything. It could be certain foods to eat. It could be times to go to sleep. It could be intermittent fasting. It could be exercise. It could be anything. So tell us, just give us a brief idea here what you think it is.
We got exercise, we got diet, we got fasting, a lot of the mainstream ones, the big ones so far.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep, water we're hearing about.
Mm-hmm.
So
water, I like that one.
Yeah, that is a good one. Reduced calorie intake.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Jose. All right. Next slide. The thing that we found in common amongst people that do the best, and by the way, take notes on this, please, if you have a pen and paper. This stuff is real important. Okay, the things that we found in common are, number 1, build a daily morning routine to start your day right. Okay, and I put morning in italics because the things that you do in the morning affect what you do the rest of the day. And if you can get started in the morning with a good collection of habits, then your chances of maintaining those habits over the subsequent 12 to 16 hours go way up.
I mean, I feel like that applies so much to exercise, Cyrus. Like, we all know, like, if you say, hey, you know what, I want to do fitness today, if you actually do it in the morning, like, the chances of it getting done versus as the day goes on, more excuses, more reason not to do it. It's just such a profound point that I think everybody can relate to.
Good. So go to the next slide because that's the first thing that we talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. Habit number 1, perform daily exercise in the morning. In the morning. That is the key. Okay. Why the heck would you do exercise in the morning? Well, I listed 5 reasons on the slide, but there's actually probably about 100. First one is that it improves your brain function. It improves the way that you think, the clarity of your thoughts. It improves your memory. It improves your Literally, it improves your mood. And as a result of doing that first thing in the morning, then you can actually get your brain kicking on all cylinders, and that's going to last into the afternoon and evening hours. Number two, exercise lowers your blood glucose. It's a substitute for insulin. We talk about this very openly because it's an extremely powerful substitute for insulin. Number three, exercise also lowers your blood pressure. Who knew? Okay, people that exercise frequently have lower blood pressures than people who don't. Number four, just like I said earlier, exercise makes you happier. Exercise is literally the number one most widely prescribed thing for depression. Even before, so doctors are taught to educate their patients about the power of exercise in improving their brain's function and to overcome things like depression and cognitive decline. And they're supposed to do that as their first line of defense before they go to antidepressant medications. So if any of you have ever suffered from some type of, depression or anxiety or lack of motivation, exercise itself, and that can really powerfully turn your brain on and improve your motivation and decrease your levels of anxiety and depression. Okay, and then finally, here's something that's one of my favorites. When you exercise, especially if you exercise in the morning, your desire to eat healthfully the rest of the day goes up. And the reason is because if you use your body in the morning, your chances of actually putting in sort of unhealthier foods that are higher saturated fat, foods that are oily, foods that are greasy, foods that are more refined, you just want to do it less because you want to treat your body well in order to help it recover. Okay, it's pretty straightforward, but it's actually pretty powerful stuff. Next slide. Habit number two. People who are the most successful incorporate a daily mindfulness practice. And I showed a picture of a girl meditating, sitting in a lotus position on the screen. But it turns out you don't have to do that. You don't have to actually sit there and meditate and close your eyes and stare off into the abyss. All you have to do is literally slow down the rate at which you are breathing and take a little bit more time to just give yourself some silence. That's all I'm asking you to do. If you just give yourself the opportunity for silence for just a small portion of the morning hours, it has a dramatic impact on how you go about the rest of your day. It has an impact on the speed at which you talk, the speed at which you think, the number of things that you are going to try and accomplish, your anxiety levels. It really makes a big difference. So the 5 bullet points that I put on the screen right here are actually the exact same 5 bullet points that you saw on the previous screen. Meditation, just like exercise, improves your brain function. It actually does lower your blood glucose. It actually does lower your blood pressure. It actually does increase your happiness level, and it actually does improve your eating habits. So if you can perform exercise and invite in a small amount of silence, the two of those are going to have a profound impact on not only your morning, but the rest of your day as well. Okay, habit number 3, next slide. Habit number 3, start your day with Amla Green. Now, we were talking to an audience of people who already take Amla Green. So you could say, well, there's like a bias built into the audience. And the answer is true. There's definitely a bias built into the audience. But the reason why this is important is because the people who are getting the best results, again, lowest blood glucose, lowest blood pressure, lowest cholesterol, and had the easiest time sticking with their overall lifestyle, were the ones that were actually incorporating Amla Green into their morning routine. And Amla Green, like we talked about earlier, lowers cholesterol, it lowers glucose, it lowers your blood pressure. And again, just like exercise and meditation, when you start your day off right, then your chances of continuing in this improved sort of, mindfulness eating actually increases. So your eating habits actually get better over the course of the day. Okay, I got 2 more habits for you. Habit number 4. It says, do not rely on caffeine for energy. Now, in the chat box, write the word yes if you currently require or like look forward to some kind of caffeine jolt first thing in the morning, whether it's from coffee, whether it's from tea, or whether it's from a Red Bull? You tell me. If caffeine is something that's a go-to for you in the morning, write the word yes in the chat box.
Okay, let's see what comes in. Jose will give us a report back. Are you one of those people that you need that caffeine? You get to work, like, hey, I haven't had my caffeine yet. Like, talk to me in 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You get a little, you get not so fun to be around first thing in the morning.
So let's see. A report is coming in from Jose, and let's see what's happening. He says lots of yeses, which is not surprising. It's not surprising, Cyrus.
Yeah, okay. It's pretty common. It's very common. I'd imagine there's probably some no's sprinkled in there.
Yeah, Jose says a few no's, but 95% yes.
95% yes. Okay, cool. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because this is very, very, very important. I know that drinking caffeine first thing in the morning feels good. I know that drinking caffeine first thing in the morning gives you energy. It wakes you up. It makes you feel like you're ready to go. You can start thinking clearer. You can start using your body clearer. I get it. I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about. But what is very important to understand is that even though caffeine may improve your energy levels and it helps make you feel alert, it is a short-term Band-Aid. It's a short-term Band-Aid that has that can only really work for a small period of time, 2, 3, 4 hours, usually 2, 3, 4 hours at the most. And after that 2, 3, 4 hour period, when the caffeine starts to wear off and when the effects of it on your brain and your muscle tissue go down, that's when life becomes more challenging. That's when you need to become more tired. You can become grumpier. You can become hangrier. Your appetite can increase. Your thirst can increase. And most importantly, your level of anxiety can increase later in the day. Write in the chat box the word yes again if you experience this. You have caffeine in the morning, and then by the time the afternoon rolls around, all of a sudden that caffeine's not working on your brain anymore, and now you feel either hungrier, thirstier, you have a little bit of anxiety, you're feeling kind of like a little bit down, and you really are looking for something else to pick you up one more time.
Okay, this is a very important question, so let us know in the chat box. Is that true for you? Are you looking for that next sort of hit of caffeine later in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Looking for something to pick you up?
Yeah, this is something I see over and over and over, not only with our clients, but I'll just see, my general population, friends, family members, you name it. If they don't have their caffeine, I literally don't want to be around them.
So the report I'm getting back is a mostly yes, Cyrus. That's a huge thing here.
Okay. Yeah, it's a huge thing because effectively what caffeine is doing, like I said, it's a temporary Band-Aid. It's almost like you're improving, you're trying to improve your ability to think clearly and have energy and move your body. And you're using something that's going to give you that effect. But then a few hours later, if that effect wears off, you kind of have to go backwards and be like, wait a minute, what if there's a better long-term solution? What if there's something that I can take on a daily basis that can actually just make me feel like a normal person at all times? What if I wasn't dependent on this thing called caffeine to actually make me feel like a normal human? And the answer is there's plenty of things that you can do that actually substitute for caffeine. Okay, so let's just curb this conversation for the second. We'll move on to habit number 5, and then we'll come back.
Sounds good.
Okay. Habit number 5: stay hydrated all day long. This is a big one. This is a really, really big one. Maybe even as big as caffeine. Very commonly, people turn to us and say, "Oh, how much water am I supposed to drink? Should I drink a lot? Should I drink a little? What am I supposed to do?" And my answer is, drink as much as you feel is necessary in order to either not be thirsty, number 1, or number 2, to have lightly colored urine. That's how you know if you're drinking enough water. That's one of the most telling indicators. When you go and urinate, if your urine is a dark color, and especially if your urine has a very strong odor to it, those can be indicators that you're dehydrated. But if your urine has a nice light yellow color to it and is a little bit, it doesn't have as strong of a smell, that's a strong indicator that you are actually more hydrated. Now, when you transition your diet towards a more plant-based diet, especially if you're eating lots of fruit, in general, your level of hydration will go up naturally. Not because you're drinking more water, but because you're actually eating more water. You're actually getting more water inside of the fruits and vegetables that you eat, and that actually keeps you hydrated all throughout the day. In addition to just feeling more hydrated, being hydrated improves your digestive function. It actually improves the way that food is actually processed and metabolized inside of your digestive tract. It improves the way that your brain operates, and it also reduces your appetite. And this is something that most people don't know. Because if you drink water, drinking water can actually distend your stomach just enough to activate some stress receptors that send a temporary signal up to your brain that says, hey, you know what, I got stuff in me, don't put any food in me right now. So whether you're drinking water or whether you're eating water that usually comes prepackaged with fiber, the combination of either eating or drinking or both reduces your appetite and prevents you from overeating. And that's something that's very important because most people don't understand it. That's actually one of the things that water can do for you. Okay, we're going to go on to the next slide. It says the quality of your morning routine determines the quality of the rest of your day. I cannot hammer this point home more. Okay, the people who are the most successful, the people that have the best habits, myself included, Robbie included, Jose included, I know their lifestyles, and I know they do the exact same things in the morning. Jose goes to the gym every single day. Robbie goes to the gym every single day. I go exercise every single day. We're eating super healthy foods, and we're constantly making sure that our stress levels are nice and low. None of us are relying on caffeine, and it makes a big, big difference. Okay, so focus on your morning. Start your day right. And if you do it right, then the rest of your day becomes much, much simpler. Okay, next slide. So, you've probably seen Umla Green. We made Umla Green about 2 years ago. And it's basically, we took the Umla berry, which is a very, very potently sour berry, and we combined it with oolong dark green tea in order to create this stuff called Umla Green. Okay, so it's Umla plus green tea. And we've been getting very, very promising results from people who've been using it as a medicinal plant to reduce their cholesterol, their blood glucose, and their blood pressure at the same time. Now, next slide. What we asked ourselves was, we said, hey, how can we continue to improve the experience of literally the world's most powerful antioxidant-rich tea? How can we continue to improve this experiment? So we went back to the drawing board and we started to play around with other things that we could add to the Umla berry to try and make it more tasty and to try and give it an even higher punch. And here's what we came up with. Next slide. Okay, so to Robbie, tell me, can you only see the Umla berries on the slide right now?
That's right. All you see is increased Umla Green's nutrient value, and all I see is berries on the left.
Okay, perfect. So don't hit the forward button right now. What I want people to do is go into the chat box, and I want to know, what other things do you think we have added to Umla berries in order to increase the nutrient value and antioxidant punch of this tea?
I like this game.
What you guys think.
I like this game.
Fun game.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So let us know. What do you think is good to be added to increase the nutrient value, to increase the antioxidant value inside there, the ability to fight free radicals? What is a good thing to add? So Jose, you let us know what you see coming in the chat box, because we're on the edge of our seat over here.
I'll give you a hint. There's 4 things that we added, but you guys can just tell me whatever you think, whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, we want to learn from you guys. So let's see. Those berries, Cyrus, the thing is, the berries look good on the screen, but boy, if only people could know how bad they taste on their own.
I know. We should have a Umla berry eating contest.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get people to eat raw Umla berries.
That's funny. Okay, so somebody's saying you could add fruits to it. You could add blueberry. You could add berries. Somebody says you could add vitamin C, or you could add turmeric. You could add pomegranate. That's interesting. Okay.
These are all good suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, hit the forward button once.
Okay, I got it. I did it once.
All right, now we got Umla plus ginger. Okay, ginger is the first thing that we added. Hit the forward button again.
Okay, we got another picture.
Boom, cinnamon. So now we got Umla plus ginger plus cinnamon.
Now we're talking. We got one more.
Boom, Umla plus ginger plus cinnamon plus mint. Okay, so now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 incredibly powerful medicinal plants. And the last one, drum roll please.
Yep, there it is.
Boom. Amla plus ginger plus cinnamon plus mint plus hibiscus. So, I don't know if you guys have heard about the power of hibiscus and the fact that Dr. Michael Greger from Nutrition Facts is absolutely obsessed with hibiscus. It turns out that hibiscus is something that they use in the Latin American and South American world all over the place. They've known about its medicinal qualities for many, many, many years. And you can go to pretty much any Latin store and you can pick up dried, what they call the jamaica. Okay, it's basically dried hibiscus flowers, and then you can turn it into a tea. You can grind it up. You can put it into food. And, they've been using it in Central and South America for many, many, many hundreds of years. Hibiscus is actually one of the most powerful antioxidant-rich foods on the planet, just like amla berries. It's not as powerful as amla, but it is way, way up there. And so we decided that we wanted to combine the two of them together because, heck, why not? Hibiscus itself has a really good flavor, and amla berries have a really bad flavor. And so we thought maybe we could combine the two of them together and make them have a baby that actually tasted really good. Okay, so next slide. Amla green hibiscus is the first tea to combine two of the world's most powerful antioxidant-containing plants on Earth. I will say this again. Amla green hibiscus is the first tea to combine two of the world's most powerful antioxidant-containing plants on the planet. Next slide. Okay, amla green is an antioxidant powerhouse. We've got amla berries plus hibiscus plus all those other flavor additives that actually keep this tea tasting ridiculously good. And next slide, we got, boom, there it is, amla green hibiscus. Can you see that bottle?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, there it is. Amla green hibiscus. This is something that we've been literally formulating for over a year at this point, and we finally got it to taste exactly the way we wanted it to. And we are extremely excited about this because the people that we've given it to absolutely love the flavor, Robbie included.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, I've been flipping out. And the excitement of finally, when the final formula came in, I'm like, guys, we hit it. Like, we did it after so many failures. And one of the best parts about it is how great it looks in the glass. Like, the color of the red in there is just, something about, there's an enjoyment of the vision, like the appeal. We eat with our eyes a lot. We drink with our eyes, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely beautiful.
I love it. Okay, so here's, because you guys are literally, I swear to God, you guys are the first human beings to even know that amla green hibiscus exists, because this is the first time we've even talked about it. We've even announced it. We've done nothing with it up until this point, because this is basically the launch party.
Yeah, this has been secret. Like, I've been using it, and I haven't said a single thing on Instagram. I've said nothing. Like, this is the first time we are ever talking about this, so we're glad you guys are here.
Okay, so on the next slide, you'll see it says buy one, get one 50% off. So right now, we're running a special for you guys, that are you guys only, because you're here at the webinar, because you guys are paying attention, because you guys are participating, and because I think a lot of you guys have already been using amla green up to this point, the regular flavor. So buy one, get one 50% off. The way it works is that you get one bottle of 90 servings, which basically boils down to less than $1 a serving, 61 cents per cup of tea. That's cheaper than most of the tea you buy in the grocery store. And then in addition to that, we'll give you a second bottle at 50% off. And so this 50% off dramatically reduces the price again to down to 30 cents per serving. I think there might be a typo on the screen right here. If you go to the next slide.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we will also give you, if you choose to buy one, get one 50% off, you will also receive a 7-day challenge. And the 7-day challenge works like this. Every single day, I'm going to send you a video, and the video gives you daily inspiration, daily guidance, daily support, and answers to very common questions that come through the sort of amla green support network. Okay, what I want to do is basically get you guys started on the right foot so that you too can focus on your morning hours. Literally, the entire 7-day challenge is going to be focused on what you do in the morning hours. And I want to teach you guys our morning routine and show you exactly how to get your day started right. So that way you wake up and you don't feel dependent on caffeine. You're excited, you're energized, you eat well, you exercise well, you do a mindful practice, and then boom, now all of a sudden your day starts off right and you feel like $1 million the rest of the time. Okay? So, next slide. For those of you guys on the webinar right now, this is the buy one, get one 50% off. It's the BOGO 50% off. Again, $49.95 for the first bottle, $24.98 for the second bottle. The combination of the two of these gives you basically, you'll get 6 months worth of Umla Green Hibiscus. 6 months worth of Umla Green Hibiscus at the lowest price that we can offer it. And this is designed specifically to set you up and set you up so that you'll have enough of it on hand and create that morning routine, which is essential for your long-term success. Okay, now, there's a couple more slides. The next one is of, this is what people have been saying about their blood glucose values. They literally, on our original formula, they started taking Umla Green, and their blood glucose was coming down 50 points here, reduced insulin requirement, blood glucose leveling out, okay, lowering fasting glucose. Next slide. We see people who take it also have reduced their cholesterol levels, okay? Their cholesterol levels come down by 30 points. Started adding it to my morning routine, and look, my systolic blood pressure is also coming down in addition to my cholesterol, okay? These types of reviews are coming in left and right, and we are very happy to see it. And then the next slide shows that we're just, if they don't need a cholesterol reduction, they don't need a blood glucose reduction, they're basically people just saying, hey, I just like the flavor of this stuff. It's good. And I know that it's antioxidant rich, so cool. Double whammy.
Yeah, right? We love people who are into prevention, Cyrus.
Prevention is the name of the game. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Absolutely great point, right? So if you guys are as excited as we are about getting Umla Green Hibiscus into your life, I strongly encourage you to do it right now. Because, again, Umla Green already is the world's most powerful antioxidant-rich tea. We've just put antioxidants on steroids. We've made the flavor even better. And I literally want to help you guys create that morning routine, which sets you up for success for the rest of the day and improves your long-term success. It's really important to us that you understand how to get long-term success. And that's why we're creating this entire package, because we know how powerful it can be. And I want nothing more than for you guys to actually start to incorporate these daily habits, because they have such a powerful effect on the way that you think, on the way that you move, and on the way that you feel.
And I got to tell people, we put a lot of hard work into the 7-day challenge. And that's going to be a lot of value for people to really commit to it with a group, like really make that commitment. I'm doing this. And it really means
100%.
a lot.
100%. There's no question about it. Yeah, with these challenges for us, we see there's a lot of people get really excited about them, and it's a great way to sort of start a new habit and then stick with that habit over the course of time.
Yeah.
You hear all these statistics. People say, oh, it takes 13 days to make a habit. Some people, oh, no, it takes 364 days to make a habit. I don't know the number of days that it takes to make a habit. I'll be the first one to tell you that. I really don't know. Okay? But it's probably somewhere between 1 and 30. That's my guess. Okay? So why not set yourself up for success and start to make habits stick now? Because when your habits start to stick, you start to feel it. It really makes a profound difference in your lifestyle. And the best part too is that right now it's December 18th, right? We're ending 2019. We're moving into 2020, and most people try and start their new year, new year, new you off right. This is an opportunity for you to start living your healthiest lifestyle today, literally today, and make 2020 your best year yet. And 2020 is also the beginning of a new decade. Or you can think of it as the ending of this current decade. I want you to be healthy not only in 2020, I want you to be healthy literally for the next decade. And if you're up for it, I'm up for it as well. I want to help you out as much as I possibly can. This is the way to do it.
Let's do this together. And also, we should make it clear that this webinar bonus, because you guys are here, this launch, we're giving you free shipping. So this is for the people in the continental United States. You're going to get free shipping. So you look at the screen right now, you see you're getting the buy one, get one. So it's 30 cents per serving, and you're getting free shipping, and you're getting our challenge. So you're saving $224 by taking action tonight. And additionally, you'll see when you get to the page, if you are already a fan of the current Umla Green product and you're good with that, you can go ahead and you can take advantage of this webinar bonus on any of the other products. So the 90 serving Amla Green Decaf, the 90 serving regular Amla Green, our first formula, you're welcome to take advantage of this offer. You can get the same deal, and you can go ahead with that. And if you wanted to, you'll get to try hibiscus another time. It's totally up to you. So free shipping. It's a big deal, and we're just excited. It's really kind of like a party for us tonight.
100%, absolutely. So let's get 2020 started off right. Honestly, let's do it. Click on that link, take a look at the page that it sends you to, and if you're really serious about getting started, we're here to help, and I really want to see you in that 7-day challenge because it's just fun, honestly, and I love sharing the nuggets that make really solid lifestyle changes work and stick. So let's have some fun together.
Absolutely. So Jose, why don't you go to the Cyrus Robbie Jose thread on Slack there and throw in some questions that we have. If there's any questions you want us to answer, anything that's been going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I know there was one question, Cyrus, so people were asking about just some concerns with hormones and cortisol and stuff like that. Do you want to just share just some general insights on some lifestyle habits people can do to normalize their hormones?
Yeah, actually, okay, you guys are interested in cortisol and or I'm going to give you a sneak peek. We have the Mastering Diabetes Online Summit, which is an annual event that goes live once a year, and it's usually about 7 to 9 days long. This year, you can start registering for the event online on January 5th. So write that down. January 5th is going to be your first opportunity to register for this event. This year, we have a bunch of new speakers. We have a total of 22 speakers, I believe. And one of them in particular talks about the connection between adrenal fatigue and cortisol and energy levels. His name is Ari Witten. He's brilliant. And he's actually educated us a lot about, what's happening to your adrenal gland over the course of time. So when you live a stressful lifestyle, okay, stressful lifestyle means extremely fast-paced, means not giving yourself very much time, means not paying attention to your own personal habits, means not eating well, means not sleeping properly, means not exercising on the daily. When you are engaged in any combination of those lifestyle habits, your adrenal gland can start to secrete increased amounts of cortisol on a daily basis. And when your cortisol levels begin to increase, not even by that much, by like 10, 20, 30%, then it has long-term effects, it has short-term effects on many tissues all throughout your body. It affects your brain, it affects your liver, it affects your cardiovascular system, it affects your heart. And so your pulse will increase just a little bit. Your liver will kick out just a little bit more glucose. Your brain might start to get a little bit more anxious. Okay, as that happens today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, over the course of time, you end up developing, any number of symptoms that can actually progress you towards more chronic disease. Okay, so a simple thing that you can do in order to move in the opposite direction and move you further away from chronic disease is to reduce your overall and or your chronic stress levels. So by doing the things that we're talking about, being mindful in the morning, slowing down, doing some exercise, starting your day off with some really high-powered antioxidant-rich foods and or drinks, eating a plant-based diet, okay, getting plenty of sleep, staying hydrated, all of these things can help slow down the function of your adrenal gland, and as a result of that, it will produce less cortisol, and as a result of that, you will become less stressed, and tissues all throughout your body will become less stressed. And that's a good thing, because in the short term, those tissues can maintain a more sort of normal metabolic function, and in the long term, it actually preserves their lifespan such that these tissues aren't actually developing metabolic disease over the course of your life. So hopefully that answers some questions about that.
Absolutely, that's great. So we have a lot of technical questions that have come in about Amla and using it, so I'd love to have you go into detail about this. So
let's do it.
One thing is somebody's concerned, what if this is real? This is real, and it's a very important question. What if the caffeine detox is just too hard? Can we just add the amla to the morning coffee routine that we're currently doing? That's what this person's asking.
Okay, so caffeine detox, I'm really glad you brought this up because caffeine detox is, I don't like the word detox, so I'm not going to use it. The caffeine withdrawal is real. Okay, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you drink let's say you drink 2 glasses of coffee while you're awake. And what I'm suggesting you do is that you go from 2 glasses of coffee to 0 glasses of coffee in order to improve the function of your brain in particular. Okay? If you have been drinking 2 glasses of coffee for any length of time, call it 3 months, 6 months, a year, maybe more than a year, try to go from 2 glasses of coffee to 0 glasses of coffee is damn near impossible. Okay? It'd be like being addicted to cocaine and then doing that on a daily basis and then me telling you to go cold turkey. Okay? It'd be like smoking cigarettes for 10 years and then me telling you to quit cold turkey. Okay? Cold turkey doesn't really work. So I don't really recommend people who are addicted to caffeine or using caffeine on a daily basis to go cold turkey. It is extremely hard. Okay? Your brain, you get these withdrawal headaches that are just like, they stop you in your tracks and they prevent you from doing anything productive. What I would recommend is, let's say you drink 2 glasses of coffee per day, which is like 2, 12-ounce glasses of coffee per day, okay? What I want you to do is work over the course of a 30-day period to reduce it from 2 glasses down to 1 glass. And then over the course of the next 30 days, go from 1 glass down to 0 glasses, okay? So all you have to do in order to get this done is to literally drink, instead of drinking 2 12-ounce glasses today, I'm going to drink a 12-ounce glass and then a 10-ounce glass. And then 2 days later, I'm going to drink a 12-ounce glass and an 8-ounce glass. And then 2 days later, I'm going to drink a 12-ounce glass and a 6-ounce glass, okay? I'm talking baby steps. You make these tiny little baby steps, and all of a sudden, before you know it, now you're going from drinking 2 glasses of coffee a day to a glass and a half or a glass and a quarter. Before you know it, 30 days in, you're like, hey, look, I'm at a glass a day. I've cut my caffeine intake by 50%. And then over the course of the next 30 days, you can cut again from 1 glass of coffee all the way back down. So if you take these baby steps, then the caffeine withdrawals, either the headaches never set in, and it's such a gradual change that you give your brain and muscles and heart and cardiovascular system time to adjust. And time is your best friend when it comes to caffeine. So make these baby steps, have them, carve out a 1 to 2 month period to really get you down to 0. And in substitution for that caffeine, try out something like Umla Green Hibiscus or Umla Green Regular, okay? If you do it that way, then you're actually substituting a caffeine-rich beverage for an antioxidant-rich beverage, and the antioxidant-rich beverage is going to work numbers on all types of tissues in your body and absolutely on your brain. And the combination of reducing caffeine and increasing your antioxidant content is going to make a big difference.
Okay, this is fantastic. So we have another good question. How many servings should you use per day, especially when doing a fast?
Okay, how many servings of Umla Green Hibiscus per day? Okay, so I'm glad you brought up this whole idea of fasting. We're huge fans of intermittent fasting, and we recommend intermittent fasting either on a weekly basis or on a daily basis, depending on your particular situation. So, how many glasses of Umla Green can you drink per day? What we recommend for the majority of people is to drink 1 glass of Umla Green first thing in the morning with your breakfast, and or if you're fasting, just 1 glass of Umla Green, and then boom, that's it for the rest of the day. Now, there are people who voluntarily decide that they want a second glass, or maybe even a third glass sometime later in the day. And the answer is go for it. Totally go for it. I highly recommend it, okay? Dr. Greger is an example. He drinks his own hibiscus tea. And he doesn't just drink 1 small glass of hibiscus tea. I mean, I think he's drinking this stuff, probably drinking like 32 ounces a day all throughout the day. Okay, there's lots of people who do something very similar as well. So I would say minimum requirement, drink 1 glass per day. If you want to drink 2, you want to drink 3, and you're fasting or you're not fasting, doesn't really matter. Almond Green has 0 calories. It's not a caloric beverage. It's not going to ruin your fast. It's only going to enhance your fast. It's going to keep you hydrated, going to keep you thinking really sharply. And as a result of that, it's going to keep you high energy and keep you moving throughout your day.
Okay, fantastic. So one thing that continues to come up in the chat box right now that Jose is reporting is that there's confusion about the caffeine in this product. Guys, there is no caffeine in this product. None of these ingredients naturally have any caffeine. So there's no decaffeination process. This is an absolutely 100% naturally caffeine-free tea.
Yes, that is exactly right. Thank you. Sorry if I wasn't clear enough. Amla Green Regular has a small amount of caffeine in it. It has about 50 milligrams of caffeine, which is about a quarter of a cup of coffee. Okay, that's the Amla Green Regular formula. Amla Green Hibiscus is truly 100% caffeine free. There is no tea inside of it. There's no green tea. There's no black tea. There's no tea leaves. As a result of it, hibiscus has 0 caffeine. Amla berries have 0 caffeine. Ginger, mint, and cinnamon have 0 caffeine. There is 0 caffeine in this product, and that's one of the reasons why it's one of our favorites. Period. End of story.
Yeah, and we're excited about that. I mean, a lot of people have been asking for that, and we put a lot of work into creating this formula, so it's really exciting. And another thing people are questioning or curious about, Cyrus, is, and I think it's an important thing for you to talk about, is how to use it. Like, do I drink it hot? Do I drink it cold? And I know there's a lot of ways to incorporate this powerful plant medicine into people's lives.
Yep. Sorry, you just cut out here for like the last 5 seconds. Give me one more time.
Yeah, no problem. So people are curious about how they can consume it. Do I do it hot? Do I do it cold? Do I put it in a smoothie? I know there's a lot of ways to get this antioxidant-rich superfood into their body. So let everybody know.
Great. Okay, so the easiest way to do it is you open up the bottle, and there's a little plastic scooper on the inside. You take the scooper. You'll see the scooper is like microscopic. It looks like you're basically putting nothing into a glass. And the reason is because it's a super concentrated, very powerful powder. So you just take a tiny little bit, drop it into a glass of hot water, turn it into a tea, and sip it as a tea. That's your option number 1. Option number 2, do the same thing and add it to hot water, and then cool that hot water and turn it into a cold tea. Whether it's an iced tea or just a room temperature tea, either way, it doesn't really matter. You can drink it hot, you can drink it warm, you can drink it cold. Another thing that we teach people how to do is to take the same 1 scoop, maybe 2 scoops, and put it into a smoothie. So if you're making a smoothie, just literally put it into the blender along with the fruits and greens and other vegetables that you might be adding to the smoothie, and blend it all up and then drink it that way. You can also make something like you can make a pot of beans, and then you can take the Amla Green and you can sprinkle it on the top of beans, and then you can eat it that way. Okay, another thing you can do, which I love doing, is actually making a salad dressing out of it. So you take some Amla Green, you add it to vinegar, no oil, just vinegar by itself. You can put in some other spices if you want, mix the whole thing up, pour it on top of the salad, boom, now you got yourself super powerful salad dressing that is going to change the personality of your salad. Excellent,
excellent. I know Jose has answered a vast majority of the questions you guys have had, so thank you to Jose in the chat box. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Somebody's asking about, what about fructose from fruit? Does that cause fatty liver, Cyrus?
Okay, fructose is one of the most misunderstood concepts in modern day nutrition. Fructose was never bad for you. Fructose is not bad for you. It's the fructose that comes in whole food, whether it's a fruit or whether it's fructose is mainly found in fruit. It's also found in starchy vegetables to a very, very small extent. But the fructose that comes locked up inside of a whole food is there for a reason. It imparts a sweet flavor. Your body knows exactly how to metabolize it. Your digestive system can rip it out, can use it for energy, and it can transport it to tissues, and it can be metabolized and turned into ATP very effectively. The reason why fructose has been gotten a bad name over the course of time is because it's actually refined fructose that can accelerate the your progression towards an insulin-resistant liver or a fatty liver. So if there's refined fructose in any of your foods, like high fructose corn syrup, okay, or any other artificial sweetener that comes from a manufacturing process, those are the types of sugars to avoid. I don't want you avoiding fruit because it contains fructose. Again, fructose in whole fruit is very safe, is exactly what your digestive system and brain are capable of using for energy. And it's only the fructose that comes from refined sources that's added by food manufacturers that actually causes problems.
Simple as that. It really is. So it's a good thing for people to know. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for your participation. This is a big night for us, so thank you. We're just excited and a lot of hard work. And we wanted to let you know that this launch price is special and not going to stick around. So you get this opportunity now to get the free shipping and to save a lot on your second bottle, 50% on the second bottle. This is the 90 serving to set you up for a long-term success. And you're going to get the 7-day challenge, which again, put a lot of work into it. It's going to really, really help you start 2020 correctly. So,
yep.
Cyrus, what else you want to add here?
Here's what I want to add. Number one, thank you guys for showing up today. It's been super fun. There's still 165 of you in the room, which always makes me happy. Number two, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope you get plenty of time to spend time with your friends and your family members, and you get time to disconnect from your computers and your devices and actually spend time with people. That's always a fun thing. I want you to think long and hard about your morning hours. Your morning hours are crucial for making sure that your afternoon and evening hours fall in line. And ask yourself some pretty hard questions, right? Is your morning as strong as it could be? Or is your morning in need of a little bit of a pick-me-up? Okay? We talked about a lot of things. We talked about meditation. We talked about exercise. We talked about staying hydrated. We talked about not being addicted to caffeine. We talked about using something like Amla Green to give you a nice antioxidant punch first thing in the morning. Okay? And I know there's many things that you can do to improve the quality of your morning, but I want you to ask yourself, what aspect of your morning lifestyle could use some improvement? And whatever aspect that is, that's the one to work on. Okay? We're not trying to change your life in the next 7 days. I guarantee you I'm not going to do it, and neither are you. We're looking for long-term sustainability. Adding Amla Green, especially hibiscus, into your life can make a huge difference. If you guys are excited about turning 2020 into the best year yet and really getting on this, starting your morning off really strong and seeing what a difference it makes in your overall lifestyle, let's work on it together. Get inside the 7-day challenge. Let's have a good time. And I will see you on the inside.
Okay, guys. And just before we go here, I want to show you I have the product here. I've been using it, and boy, do I love it, and I know you're going to love it. So just like Cyrus was saying, you unscrew the cap, you get this little, you have this little scooper here. You take a tiny scoop, you just put that, in your salad dressing, your water, like whatever. It's just super easy. And once you open it, you keep it in the fridge. You keep it in the fridge. That's what's going to preserve it. And we're just really, really excited for you guys to get this in your hands. So get your order now. Hopefully it could arrive before the holidays. Probably will. So you can enjoy it on Christmas Eve, on Christmas Day, or whatever you're celebrating. We're excited. We're really excited for you guys. So check it out. Amla Green Hibiscus, and getting the challenge, and it's going to be fun. All right. I think that's it, Cyrus.
Absolutely. Yeah, we will see you guys later. Thanks again for attending. Really had a great time tonight.
See you guys later.